Hey there and welcome to another channel review. In this episode I will review the Sequre Smart Hot Tweezers that is kind of a combination between a soldering iron and hot tweezers. I am really intrigued by this product. It's one of those cases where you have a winner or a missed opportunity, so bear with me and during this review I will show you which one is it. You know that I always like to be transparent about these reviews, so let me tell you that this device was sent to me free of charge for review by Sequre. But this video will reflect my unbiased opinion and no payment was made by Sequre to produce this video, and they will see it only when it is on YouTube, publicly available to everyone. Sequre has been collaborating with the channel for quite some time. I want to thank them anyway for sending this device and making this review possible, but I want to thank you also, yes, you my viewer that sponsored the channel, by using the affiliate access links on the screen or in the video description whenever you access AliExpress or Amazon. You pay exactly the same, but just by accessing using these links you will be sponsoring the channel, and for that you have my biggest heartfelt thank you. Without further ado, let's get this party started with the key features. Now is the time to talk about this video sponsor, PCBWay. I always use PCBWay for creating my boards with a professional factory quality, as you saw in my millivolt voltage reference board. It is very cheap to manufacture your PCBs on PCBWay. You can manufacture 10 PCBs for only $5. How awesome is this? And it is pretty easy also. Just insert here the PCB dimensions and you'll have an instant code. So when you want a PCB, visit PCBWay to get your code, and if it is your first time ordering from PCBWay, you can use our access link for a $5 credit. And don't forget, they also have component assembly service, 3D printing service and much more. Let's start the unboxing and see what is delivered. So let me open this. Okay. So inside we have a 65 watts charger or power supply, the soldering iron support base, the HT140, the bracket for the support holder, a USB Type-C to Type-C cable. This seems to be silicone, a QR code sticker for downloading the user manual. And that's it. For first impressions, let me start with the cable. This is a silicone cable, very flexible, and it seems to have a very nice quality. Well, I don't know in terms of resistance what is the quality, but for the cable itself, it is very nice. You have here the Sequre logo and PD 3.1, yeah. So this seems high quality cable. Passing to the power supply, you have two ports, KC 3.0 and PD 65 watts in it. And you have this adapter that will allow you to have several kinds of how we call this, several types of plugs in it. And I think that you can take this out and this should work on the American sockets. So again, that's it. I have here the European socket, very nice. Passing to the holder, this is heavy. This is a very heavy holder. I think this is solid, and you have several machine holds here that will allow you to mount the bracket in several positions. Let me start by doing that. This is the bracket that will allow us to put at rest the HT140. I will mount it like this. That's my preferred mount type. Let's see what we have here. I think that they send also some keys and other information. Let me show you. So what comes in the bag is these 2 screws and this little key. I believe that should be to lock or unlock. I will show you in a bit, but I think I already lost several screws that are here on the workbench. So I have to be careful with this. Okay, I have 4 screws, 2 of these X wrenches and 2 screws like this to mount, 2 Phillips screws to mount the bracket here. Okay, first screw almost done. Let me just mount the second and we can move on. So we have the HT station support already mounted. It should go like this. Yeah, very nice. It gives you a very good position to work with. I like it. And finally, let's see if I don't lose these small screws that you see on the screen. And these screws are available to replace the ones that are used to fixate the iron tip in here. As you can see, we have 4 screws on each arm. And yeah, in terms of construction, it's very nice. Good plastic. It's this matte finishing. It's very nice to see. The position while working with it seems good. You don't have to press it very hard to make it work, so it works okay. We have here the indication of USB-C PD 3.0, PD 3.1, and also the DC 5525 barrel with maximum of 28 volts. In the back you have 2 connectors, one for USB Type-C and the other one is the 5525 barrel. As you can see, the tips touch each other, even if the pointy part will not touch the end of the tip. This seems a very nice tool, so now it's the time to see how it works. In the screen you have in this place the temperature. This is the main interface, and in here is the temperature of the tip when it's showing temperature Celsius or Fahrenheit degrees. It can show also other message like no tip left, no tip right, or no tip left and right. Also, I believe high voltage and low voltage warnings, and also PCB high temperature warning. I believe that is if the PCB of the tweezers, the soldering tweezers, heat up a lot, it will show you a warning in here that is PCB temperature. In this place you have the working temperature set, so you can increase or decrease the working temperature, and this is the temperature that is actually, and this is the temperature that you preset to reach. Also in here you have the output maximum current. Right now it's 3 amps. You have below the progress, the power progress bar is this little guy here, and the operation that is currently happening. So right now we are stopped, but it can show work, sleep, NT for tweezers tip warning, and high voltage warning and low voltage warning also, and PT also with the temperature warning. And in here in the corner we have the supply voltage. Right now I'm supplying with 19.9, so this should be 20 volts. The maximum voltage and current that you can supply is 28 volts with 5 amps, and that will be equivalent to 140 watts. And with that power you will be able to go from 30 degrees to 300 in 2 seconds. At least is what they say. I will do some testings also about that. So again, we have 2 buttons. This will access the menu, this will power the tips, and the main interface is basically this. Okay, let's enter the menu. For that, let's press for a bit, a long press in this button. You have HT, heating temperature, idle, OLED, voltage, calibration, and about. Okay, let's start with the HT. Let's press again for a bit and we enter in a second menu, we have the work temperature. So, whoops. We have the work temperature. It's the preset temperature. The temperature steps, I believe, okay. Pressing a while in the other one, it's also an option. Let me put this at 10 degrees. I prefer to have steps of 10 degrees. Let's press for a bit. Oops, no. How will this save? Just wait. Yeah, just wait. Okay, so we have the temperature from the left. Whoa. We cannot be there a lot of time. So we have the temperature compensation for the left and the right tip. And the temperature unit, it can be obviously Celsius or Fahrenheit. The temperature shield, it's a stabilizer temperature unit. Oh god. Let me go there. We have the buzzer. And we have also start heating. This will start heating as soon as you power the tweezers, the soldering tweezers. And what else? We have the turbo set. See, this is a preset configuration for turbo mode. Again, let's go there, and this time I will go from the other side. And what we have is LR select. You can have operating the left and right, only the left or only the right or only the left. Okay, so I will leave it on left and right. And restore. So this should be the factory restore. Yeah, factory settings. I don't think that there is anything else. No, there isn't. This is the first menu, the heating temperature. So after we have the idle with the sleep time, the sleep temperature, idle time, and screen open. Screen open, standby screen display. It's what the menu says. I don't know. Screen open. Okay, when it enters in standby, it will stay with the screen on. That must be it. Okay, this is pretty much standard in these equipments. Let's see what OLED give us. In OLED, we have the brightness, the direction, so we should be able to rotate the screen. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Oops. Let's put it again in the same. And what do we have? And the key action, A to B or B to A. So if you rotate the screen, you probably should rotate also the functions of the keys. Okay, let's leave it like it is. The language, I believe that we have other languages. English, Russian, I think, and Chinese, Chungguo, I think. Okay, that's it. Let's see. And in this menu, we are done. What do we have next? We have the voltage menu. Max voltage, it is limited right now at 20 volts. The max current to 3 amps. Low voltage, this is the low voltage protection. And also the supply voltage compensation. And that's the options that we have. Okay, so let's go back to the other menu. I will do the about because I don't want to do the calibration right now. I will show you anyway. So this is PD 3.1 KC 3.0 version 1.0 and with an input max of 28 volts. Let's see the calibration because okay, I don't want to calibrate anything, but just to show you how it works. Let's calibrate the left side, and for that we should have a temperature, then set the temperature to the correct value and so on. But I don't want to do this. I will abort. Let me take this out. Okay, and I think that's it in terms of menus and everything else. So what I will do now is start testing and see how this HT140 performs. If you see my channel videos, you know that a test that I always do when testing a soldering iron, in this case soldering tweezers, is the speed of melting the tin or the solder. So the first thing that I will do is that this is set for 300 degrees. Sequre says that with 140 watts this will take 2 seconds to reach the 300 degrees. This solder should melt around 180, so it should be almost instant. If we had the 140 watts, we have 65, so I'm counting that this should take around 5 to 8 seconds, maybe 5 seconds to melt. Anyway, let's start. You will have the timer on the screen, and I will only be able to know the time when editing the video. Let's do this. Okay, that's it. Pretty fast, but I don't know the time. And now the next test that I will do is the capability of recovery of the tweezers when, for example, we put it in liquid like this on the sponge. Let's see. It's compensating, but it's not going below 300. So pretty good. You can see the progress bar in there, compensating, but it will not go below 300. It's a pass also. Well, with soldering irons, a test that I always do is to test if they are able to melt large blobs. This has a C210 with very thin tips. I'm not expecting this to perform so well as the previous irons that I tested, but let's see how these soldering tweezers will perform with large blobs. We are with 300 degrees. I will now increase this to 400. Okay, it is at 400 now, and let's see how this handles. The maximum temperature of this soldering iron is 500, and it was instant. Whoa! What is going on here? Let's see with this wire. Well, in here it takes a little longer. Yeah, it noticed. But it's already melt. A very nice performance. Whoa! This one is not hot yet. Let's see how much time it will take. 4, 5, like 6, 7 seconds to melt this blob. And it is already liquid. This is a very nice performance indeed. Okay. Let's see, this is my old board. Let's try in here to see how it will perform also. It was almost instant. Yeah. Awesome. Amazing, really. This is with a 65 watts USB power supply. So if we power it with a 28 volts 5 amps power supply, I imagine what this will be able to do. This is amazing, really. Okay, let's try again. It's almost instant. Let's melt some solder to see how it will handle just with one. You can use one or the two. This can be a soldering iron also. Let's see if we can melt this and stick it to the PCB. Yeah, it's not even touching the tip, and it's melting the solder. I'm really satisfied with this. In terms of the temperature, didn't went down also, so it maintained the temperature. Let's try with both ends. Okay. We can see the power indicator moving, but the temperature is holding. Yeah. Very nice. Let's move on to the next test. Well, the last test was all related with large blobs. I decided also to test this with my power bank. This is a Top K 20,000 milliamps hour power bank that is able to throughput, I think, around 12 volts at 3 amps. We will see that in a bit. And yeah, we have everything set up. Let's try to melt these blobs just using the power bank. Let me first activate the power bank. We have already here the soldering iron. I will start the soldering iron, but I believe that this should be at 12 volts. Let me see if it will change. Yeah, it just rebooted, and now we have it at 12 volts, 3 amps heating up. Okay, so let's start. I will see also if the temperature is changing in terms of the load. Okay, I have to put this again. You can see the power bar at the maximum. It doesn't take too much time to get there. We are already at 300 volts. Sorry, at 300 degrees. And let's start with my old board to see how much time it will take to melt this. I will put this at 400 degrees Celsius. Yeah, that's the temperature normally I use to melt these blobs. Okay, let's start with this one in the middle. It takes a bit more time to get there. Yeah, but it's melting. It's melting. Okay, it's liquid already. Let's see this in the bottom. Okay, it was fast. Yeah, seems okay. No problems with the blobs. Takes a bit longer than using the power supply, but even so, it's very well, it's okay for me. This one was much faster to melt. It doesn't have so much solder. I will put some solder in here. Just give me a second. Okay, and let's see in terms of melting solder. Yeah, no issues about it. We have a large blob in there. With only one, let's try with two. Oh, it even bubbles. I don't know if you noticed, but it was bubbling with the temperature. So I think this is a win also. Let's see in this cable. Well, this one takes a bit longer because the tips are also thin. They are not for this kind of soldering, but right now it melted the solder. It's liquid. We can even take this out if we want. Okay, very nice. Okay, for me this is a win. It works very well connected to a power bank. For this next test, I have here a PCB that I used also to review this microscope that has there some, well, this was used initially to test a heat plate, and it has there some, let's say, components that are not properly soldered. So let's try to fix this with these tweezers, the HT140, and you are seeing on the monitor the HDMI out of my Cliff microscope. Let's see. Okay, give some heat to it. Okay, this works better when it is connected. I forgot to power it on. Yeah, now it's okay, and we see the difference immediately. Just put there, and let's see if we can. Yeah, it will be able to move this, and yeah, it should be okay. I think it might need a little flux. Well, but this is just a test. If we want to take the component out, just leave it there for a second and it will come out without any issue. Okay, let's try to mount it in place. Opa. And it's there. Okay, it seems to work. Let's try another one. Well, the microscope is always changing. I will do something. I will put this in manual focus, so it's not always changing the focus of the zoom. Okay, it should be okay now. Let's try again with this one. I have the soldering iron with 250 degrees. It's not much, but seems to be enough. Okay, and this is out. Let's try to put it again, and should be okay. Yeah. So this is basically to help desoldering parts from the boards, but you can see that this works really well. Let me give some juice to this. Okay, it is now at 300 degrees. It will be faster. Yeah. So it's pretty smooth. And I think that's it. Let's see. On these LEDs, there is nothing wrong in here, but let's pick up one of these LEDs, like this one. Okay, out, and let's put it again in place. And it is in, okay, again. Well, I must say that I'm liking very much to work with this. It is awesome. This is also a LED, a small factor, and it is a bit harder to have it. Yeah. Let me take again. It will be easier like this. Where is it? It is this one. It is this one. So well, it's not perfect, but yeah. Okay, you got the idea. It will do the job pretty well. Yeah, I think we are good with this. So let's move on. In the workbench, I have already my Sugon S196 temperature station, let's call it like this. This is a device that allows me to test soldering irons, hot stations, and the K-type sensors or probes. So let's start by heating up the HT140. Okay, it is 300 degrees already. And let's start by seeing what is the temperature we get in this. Okay, 315, not bad. Don't forget that we can calibrate this. 314, 16. Yeah, I take this also as a win. This is not bad at all. Let's do something different now. Just testing the one of the probes, the left one, I believe. So this one is a 297 degrees, 98, almost a spot on. And now the right side, let me just give a better angle. The right side angle, the right side one. So the right side, you have 310 degrees, 308, yeah, around that. This at 300 degrees. I didn't do that before, so let me take this to 500 degrees. It's the maximum, just to see how it will be in terms of temperature. Okay, this is stopped. I have to put it at work again. It didn't take long to get to 500 degrees. Let's start with the right side. Whoa, this is pretty good. This is almost spot on. No, this is spot on. Really, really good. And the left side, I have solder. Well, we have a big deviation on the left side. But the right side was on target. Yeah. Let me try it with both. Yeah. This is the left side. Well, it has a bit deviation, like 22 degrees at 500 degrees target. Okay, going to a lower temperature, let me see like 200 degrees, and we will end this exercise, this test. Okay, it's lowering the temperature, and let's see, right now it's established for 200 degrees. Still getting there. Okay, almost there. At 200 degrees, we have more or less 10 degrees difference in the right side. And in the left side, it is almost spot on. Yeah. Well, I think this is pretty accurate. The difference are not serious. We have on the highest temperature something in the left side that it's desirable to not have it, that difference. But anyway, in terms of the global analysis, it's pretty near the 200 degrees. It was pretty near the 500 degrees, and it was pretty near in the 300 degrees. We have a spot on the left side almost, look, 200 degrees. So I can say this is really accurate. We can even, it doesn't have any compensation made or calibration made in this since I received it. So it is as it came from the factory, and I must say that it's pretty good. Okay, move on. Let's wrap this video, and I will start with the price, and it is being sold at 88 euros or around $91 on Sequre official website. Link in the description, and by the way, you have some AliExpress and Amazon links there also. This is a specialty tool in my opinion, extremely useful but not for everyone. I know that you can operate only using a single side and use it as a soldering iron, but to be honest, I didn't even test it like that, because the amount of work you have to endure to remove or fixate the tip for me is not user-friendly. It's not practical. If they use a system like the most of the new breed of the soldering irons there are around here right now, where you press it and it stays stick in place, will be better. But I also acknowledge that that solution will increase the size and thus the comfort using these hot tweezers soldering irons. So it's a compromise that we have here. Back to my original comment, this is not for everyone. And being a specialized tool, I don't think the price is high, especially if you consider the quality of it. In terms of usage, it is very comfortable to use, very well designed, and the interface is easy to learn and use. The stand, let me show you, is very well thought, gives an excellent position to rest and pick up, and it is very stable. It has enough weight to give you the stability you need on the stand. In terms of melting and speed of the heat in the tips, it is really good, no problems there, even with my large blob tests, where I thought initially that I might have some problems because the C220 tips that were so thin in the end, it really melted in like a butter. Very good performance in that test. And all of this using just the provided 65 watts power supply. I didn't even felt the need to use a more powerful power supply in the tests. In my opinion, these hot tweezers are more targeted to SMD work, but you can surely use it to remove through-hole components without any problem. Overall, I'm really happy with this product. It is one more to some to high-quality products that Sequre has been producing, and I didn't find any problem that worth mentioning. Well, I can mention that the user manual flyer should be included, but even there they are saving a little bit the planet, but also and obviously their cost. This is really a great tool, and if you do repairs, especially on SMD boards, this one will be an accessible alternative to the traditional hot tweezer stations. And if you think so also, and you are already in the way of buying one, consider that if you like my videos, you can in the same process sponsor the channel. How, you ask? It's so easy, just use the links on the screen or in the video description to access AliExpress or Amazon whenever you need to buy something, and that's basically it. You will pay the same for your purchase, but will be sponsoring the channel and helping me to produce more videos in the process. To all of you, a heartfelt thank you. Also, not costing a cent more is your slap in the like button, and if you are new here or just didn't subscribe yet, let me tell you that subscribing will help to keep you on the loop with all the cool test equipment that hits the market and every week I receive and review. That's it for today. Really appreciate the time you spend watching this video. Hope to be honored with your company on my next one. Until then, take care.